5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Good evening. I say good afternoon, morning, night, day, bye, hello, wherever you are in the world. As I say, one of those will apply to you. Thank you for joining us. This is the prediction show, the 25-26. Yep, we're there already. Prediction League launch. We are less than a month away. We still haven't got a manager. You couldn't write it, could you? It's all comic book stuff, really. If you're joining us live, thank you very much. Get your comments in if you've got any. If you are watching on catch up, add your comments below. And if you are listening via your favourite podcast platform, thank you for lending us your ears. This is only going to be a very quick show. It's just basically because everybody will be asking what are the rules this year, how does it work, etc. So I've just put this together. I've put it in the groups, and then you can just click on it and watch it, etc., etc., etc. Now, make the most of me because I might not be with you much longer. Leicester City may be about to ban me. I went onto their Facebook page and I posted a few things, of which this was it, basically. How to say that your club is a joke without saying your club is a joke. I rest my case. Not going to go into him in too much detail, to be honest with you, because we've got a show coming up tonight at 8 o'clock with a Sheffield United fan when we're going to be talking Chris Wilder. And then we've got a show tomorrow at 7, which will probably last for 4 hours because we've got Craig on from Up the Cherries in all departments. And he'll be talking about his love of his life, Gary O'Neill. I don't want either of them. Which probably means we'll get one of them. Predictions 25-26. It is all change. Whatever you think about how we run the prediction show, ignore it. The only thing that's guaranteed to happen the same next year as has happened before is that Brad won't be able to add up. Apart from that, we are changing it all. And he's laughing in the green room. He knows that is true. He knows that is true. It's the prediction show. Let's get him in. Where's he gone? He has left the building. Oh, he's there. Good evening, Bradley. How are you doing?
Oh, well, I normally I'd have a go at you for calling me Bradley, but I kind of deserve it after that cold intro. I mean, you know what they say, Chris? 1 + 1 always equals 3. I mean, 2.
Yeah, well,
3. Sorry.
Would you like me, because I know it is sort of, when's your birthday?
My birthday is in, oh my God, it's in 9 days.
Is it? I'll buy you a calculator, mate.
I just make sure, I was going to say, make sure you buy me one and don't give me the one you have, because we all know, Chris, that when we was, what was it you said last season?
I can't remember. Anyway, moving on.
No. I believe we was 9 games into the season. We had 9 points, or 6 games into the season, 6 points, and you needed a calculator to figure out if we got a point a game. The 38-game season, Chris needed a calculator to work out how many points we would get if we got 1 point per game.
I haven't thought this through, really.
Okay, Chris, that's how it is.
I realised once I'd said it before, thinking, like, I wonder if he'll remember.
I stored it in there, and as soon as he said it, I was like, got him! Yeah, get him back to that one straight away.
Right, well, come on. This is what it's all about. I haven't started supporting Nottingham Forest yet, but who knows? Who knows if Factor O'Neill joins us. But look, that's all coming up, like I say, 8 o'clock. Sheffield United fan joining us. We had a Sheffield Wednesday fan on last week. Sheffield United fan is going to tell us Chris Wilder, dinosaur or saviour. And then Craig will be joining us from Up the Cherries and All Departments, like I say, tomorrow at 7. And the show saying, how brown is Craig's tongue? Because we will be talking about his love child, Gary O'Neill. Right, so looking forward to the new championship season, Brad.
Looking forward to it. It's a bit of a stretch of the words, but compared to how miserable last season is, you can't surely get any worse. I mean, I don't see us doing a Luton Town, but I'm apprehensive for it, Chris. We know about we've got about as much clue as how many points we're potentially going to get deducted as we do as who's going to be our manager, because each day a new favourite appears. I'm waiting for Samardo Allardyce, that Italian UFIT master, to be linked as a favourite next week.
Well, I'd sooner have him than bloody Gary O'Neill. But anyway,
Chris. I'm going to send a screenshot of my Football Manager career with Brackley, who I've got to the Championship. I'm going to send that in with my CV to them, see if they'll take me on.
You'll get it. Apparently, who was it that was? I was on Jack's show earlier, and there's a guy on that has reckoned that we're going to get Chris Wilder because all the good things that we've got have always come from Sheffield. So, Jamie Vardy, Nigel Pearson, although I don't think he was a Middlesbrough lad, wasn't he, originally?
Well, yeah, he played against us in a certain cup final.
He did, and he lost as well.
He lost, yeah.
Right. But the 2025-26 Prediction League, and we're launching it now, like I say, because we're going to get loads of messages saying, like, oh, when do I have to do this and when do I have to do that, which I get now, but when we've done this video, hopefully it will answer all your questions. Interesting thing, there's going to be like a bit of a mini battle going on here next season, Brad, because it's going to be the battle of the Leicester City YouTube channels. We are going to have you, me, Kate, Clibbo, Reese, and everybody else, Kate, Craig, and what have you, representing us. Phil's joining us from Leicester Fan TV, Jack from The Final Whistle. Jack's just said, sorry to sidetrack, BBC Radio Sheffield was on earlier. Did he find much out? That's the question. Jack's going to be joining us from The Final Whistle. Tom from the Foxes Stand, and Lox and Manny are joining us from Blue Tinted Glasses. But we've got about 5 to everybody else's 1 or 2. But then again, we have got Brad and me in, so we probably will win.
We average it out, Chris, don't we?
We do. We bring the average down, very much so. But the thing we've been looking at is next season, it's going to be a busy season. We know this from 2 seasons ago when we were in it. And poor Brad had to do, was it about 70-odd games one week over Christmas?
Yeah, it felt like it. And obviously, that I was trying to, over Christmas, holidays and everything, I came back to a stack of homework where it was 3 lots of fixtures, which is over 30 games for me to figure out. Not just for me and Chris, though. No. It was capable when it was me, Chris, and Steve, but there was about 12 of us in that division. So I was burning my phone and my finger trying to go through the fixtures and check everybody's scores. Which, of course, my maths wasn't great. I think that was actually ironically the only time I didn't make any mistakes.
I'm sure you did.
Oh.
So we're going to change it next season. So it's all going to make it very, very interesting. But can I just say, on Friday the 11th, the old prediction group, not the new one, the old one. So if you're in the group with the gold on, then you're in this season's league. If you're in the group with the purple logo, that's last season's, and that will be shut down on Friday. And like I say, you've got to sort of message me at LTIDTV if you want to take part. And I said there, for next season, due to the larger championship team numbers and twice weekly games, the Prediction League will have a new format, which will be explained as we go through. And like I've just said, message me on X, brackets formerly Twitter, can't believe they're still doing that, at LTIDTV. If last season, and we're going to be quite firm on this, if last season you were in, and this is Craig from Up the Cherries in all departments, I've said to him, you can't be in next season if you didn't complete the season, because basically it just pisses us off. You know, people that are in there for 3/4 of the season realise they're doing shit and then jump out. I mean, me and Brad tried, but of course, running it, we weren't allowed to. But no, if you can't be bothered to stick with it through the season, then we're not going to have you in next season, and that's the fair part.
I mean, it's all for fun as well, Chris. It's not like there's prizes up for grabs and you're missing out on anything. It's all just for fun. So there's no reason. Obviously, if you message Chris saying, look, I'm going away, or I've got something's happened where I'm not going to be able to give my predictions, we're understanding. We understand that. We totally get that. But what we're saying is there were certain people, Chris has named and shamed one of them. I'm not going to do that, though. But where it felt like they got to a certain point, it's like, well, I'm not bothered now because I can't come first for bragging rights. So, yeah.
Well, you say there's no prize.
Oh.
Courtesy of one of our presenters, we may have a Jordan's bra. Or, sorry, I should have said, a large cup to present at the end of the season. I don't want it if Jordan's been wearing it. So, can't guarantee or say anything on that.
Can we have a wooden spoon?
Oh, yeah, we can get a wooden spoon. Yeah,
there you go, Chris. There you are. You're competing not to come last. And I tell you what, if you do ditch 3/4 of the way through, halfway through, your name's staying in, and we'll make sure we get it.
Have you said that just so you can guarantee you'll get a prize?
Yeah, shut up.
Does anybody will remember that going back 3 seasons, when it was me, Brad, and Steve, that Brad was saying how he used to win every season. And then we went to the championship and he went, well, it's difficult, teams we don't know. We'll go back up next season and I'll win it again. You didn't know, did you?
No, I didn't even come close, Chris. In fact, I did barely better than Leicester did in real life in the Premier League. I did keep myself afloat, but that's because we had a Wayne who unfortunately had to be the Southampton of the league. No, I'm just facing FFP charges. I'm doing a Man City. I'm letting everybody know.
That's it. So, like I say, due to the larger league, there's an extended playing season from 46 to 38. We will not be including Carabao Cup, FA Cup, World Super Cup, or anything like that. There'll also be more midweek games. I think there's 11. I've got it here actually. 11 midweek games. We've got 7 on a Tuesday, 2 on a Wednesday, including 1 cup game at the moment, and 1 on a Thursday, which is New Year's Day. But so that's why, like I say, it's just going to be absolutely awful to keep up with it. So with that in mind, the Prediction League will be based on each match. Will be based, as it says there, each match week on a Super 6. Very, very similar to Sky. They may zoom in. I may have to make it a Super 7 just to sort of cover myself. But at the moment, it's a Super 6. And this will always include a Leicester game. Obviously, that goes without saying. I will pick a game. Brad will pick a game, and then there'll just be 3 random games that I'll stick a pin in a balloon and see what pops. But that, I think, will make it very interesting, Brad.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to doing our version of Pundit's Pick, if you will, because it's going to be fun to give our predictions. And again, it's not just simplify. I think it's a more fun way to do things. You know, we're going to try, Chris is going to be the one that puts them up. We're going to try and obviously some derby games, literally derby as well, will obviously be the picks. But it's going to be trying to keep it regulated as best you can, so we're not seeing the same teams in there, apart from Leicester, obviously.
Yeah. It also means that, let's say, for example, Ipswich are winning week after week after week after week, and you know that if you put Ipswich down for a win, you're going to get at least a point.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't going to happen next year, because if any team's doing that, they're not going to be picked. So that's why it's going to be more interesting, and hopefully a bit closer as well. I mean, fair play to Nat last season. He won it. He was in the lead from about Christmas, a bit like Liverpool, really, and went on to win it. So fair play to him. But he's had to give Brad more of a chance. Said John.
So that's John being investigated for points deduction.
Yes, you're immediately on -6, John. You know? But it actually will make it more interesting, because, like I say, this year, if everybody would have put Liverpool down to win, because they were winning and winning and winning. Where, yes, I'm not saying that, Ipswich, for example, if it's them, will never be in it, but they just won't be in it all the time, which will make it more fun.
Yeah.
So, in the new group, every Monday prior to that weekend's games, there will be a post in the group, as you can see it there. And that will show the 6 games that we want you to comment on. So, for example, this will be week 1 as it happens. Leicester, Sheffield Wednesday, because it's Leicester. I've gone for Birmingham, Ipswich. Brad's gone for Southampton, Wrexham. And then just 3 general ones. Charlton against Watford, the new boys Charlton. Oxford against Portsmouth, and West Brom against Blackburn. So they will be the 6 for the first week. And what will happen is that will go into the chat by, hopefully, or let me say Monday night. It'll be in the chat by Monday night. Once it's in the chat, then you can start predicting. If it's a 2-week show, prediction, so you got the weekend and then the following week, then there will be 2 of those in. So it's pretty easy to work out. So there'll be a maximum of 12 games. So to take part in the league, you must be part of the LTID TV Prediction League group on X, brackets formerly Twitter. Like I say, to join this group, message Chris on X at LTID TV. The deadline to join is Friday the 1st of August. All LTD TV presenters are taking part, along with many hosts from other LCFC channels, as I've said. If you took part last year, but you were not active with your predictions at the end of the season, you will not be invited back. And if you're going to miss any weeks, please message Chris and send your predictions in advance. If you're going to be away and you just haven't got a chance to do it, just say, I'm not here next week, and that's fine. If you don't notify us for a couple of weeks, don't be surprised if we chuck you out. Again, it's just to keep it running smoothly. And there you can just see the thing. So, fixtures posted by 12 o'clock Monday. I need the predictions in by 9 o'clock Thursday. And Brad is going to tell us why.
I am.
You are? I thought I'd wake you up. It's because there's going to be a lot of Friday night games.
Pretty much week 1, there's a Friday night game that's being predicted for it. So, it just makes it a lot easier for us to kind of keep track, because, and we get that certain people live in different time zone areas. We've got Nate's from America, Jeff's from the Philippines, but Jeff's the first on the door. Jeff has been in it since day one when we started doing it. He's in it again this year. Jeff is 99 times out of 100. He's the first person that I see the notification from in the group. So it kind of swings around about. But what we just need to have a bit in advance, because what me and Chris might be doing is kind of noting down some early predictions, especially if it's a Leicester game on the Friday. We might want to go, okay, well, they've all got Leicester 2-0. It just makes it a bit easier for us to keep ahead of.
And we might be picking the Friday game. I mean, if it's a TV game on the Friday, it's probably a decent game, so that could be picked. And you have then got all Monday afternoon and evening, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and all day Thursday up until 9 p.m. to get your predictions in. Can you please set them out as either, there's two examples there, Leicester City 2-0 Sheffield Wednesday, or LCFC 2 SWFC 0. I'm hoping there, you never know. So if you can set it out in one of those two ways, if there's any illegible ones, i.e. somebody's mistyped or we literally can't work out who it is, then it just won't be included. And as I put there, failing to beat for two consecutive weeks without notice, we'll see you removed. Just send us a message. I mean, I went to Australia last season, and was there 3-4 weeks I missed, and but I did my predictions in advance, and that's why I struggled. I'm still sticking to that story.
Yeah, you say that, but you did better when you was away.
Very true. Very true. And like I said, the deadlines are just to help the admins keep on top of things and make their jobs hassle-free. There is no joining fee, and at this point, there's no prizes, and it's just run for fun and banter. But we may get a wooden spoon, and we may get a cup. Those the thing to do is to get a big one that we keep, and like a big spoon, and then get like a little teaspoon that we give out to the to the winner at Wimbledon.
That would be a funny job for the postman, wouldn't he? Be like, feels like a teaspoon for you, mate. Here you go.
But there we go. Anything to add at all, Brad?
No, just like I said, just keep it very simple. And people might be thinking, oh, what's with the rules about making sure it's done? Look how it's how we have to put it in the group.
Yeah.
Before me and Chris even did this a few years ago, this was one when we first decided to do the Predictions League, when it was just me, him, and Steve. Chris brought the idea to me, and I said, can we make sure it's clear how they put it in the group? Because I've been part of some predictions group on Facebook, and it was a mess. It ground my gears seeing people that weren't even putting any effort in. It was just 0-0, 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, and they were listing it in order. And it's like, well, who are you predicting 1-0 for? Yes, you could say, oh, it's the order of the fixtures, but people put them in different orders. Sometimes people were writing them from BBC, and then Sky have it in a slightly different order. So we're not psychic, and you could claim any result was for anything if they all sort of match up. So
yeah,
that's just, if anyone's ever questioning why can't I just put 12 scores in or whatever, 20, 13, 14 scores or whatever it is, I can't be bothered to do the maths to figure out how many games it is per week. That's why. And especially on double weeks, it will just cause absolute chaos.
Well, what I'll do is, on that graphic that you've got there, I'll actually put numbers on 1 to 6 so that you know what order to write them down. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I don't care if the order's slightly muddled up. As long as you put in LCFC versus SW, you don't even have to put SWFC. As long as we know who it is, we're not psychic. It's just common sense.
No, with a lot of things, but not psychic.
Yeah, we can't use calculators either.
No, we're not really the right people to do this job, are we at all?
No, we're not.
It's like getting a job as a bus driver and we can't drive. we really need to get somebody new into this.
It's like buying a dog leading collar and not having a dog. It don't make sense, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't make sense at all. And of course, the worst thing is, I mean, Brad, your significant other is in next season.
Yeah. So if I wasn't doing bad enough already, I'm now going to get taken down by the missus, as she's predicting it as well. And I have been saying to Chris over time, we only really talk Leicester, obviously, because we're both Leicester fans. But what we do is, before the game kicks off, obviously she knows she has to get it in beforehand and there's more games. But we usually go, "Oh, what do you think today?" And I go, "Well, I predicted 3-1," and then we go a little bit extra and say who thinks going to score. But 9 times out of 10, she'll make a prediction and she's got it right. So I'm a bit worried she might not just show me up there, Chris. She could show everybody up and how it's done. And I'm sure
you're going down, Bradley. You're going down.
Yeah. Hey, Kate will be happy for the support, the women in the group, and of course, if any of you want to get your partners in and make it look silly, get them in. If they're into football, get them in.
Well, I mean, all I'll say is one word: Dan. Do you remember Dan and his Kate? Yeah. Easy one. But look, if anybody's got any questions, please do add them to the chat when, because we're going to finish now. So it was just a brief one to explain the rules. Hopefully everybody is okay with it. Like I say, any last minute questions, stick them in underneath on YouTube, and I will answer them, or Brad will answer them, whatever for us. Back at 8 o'clock tonight with Clebo and Reese, and we'll be talking Chris Wilder, who is now the second favourite to get the job. In fact, these things were updated so quickly that from me starting to do the graphic for the show to me getting it ready, his odds had changed. And of course, tomorrow, as you can see, going across the bottom at 7 o'clock, we're going to be talking. I can't believe I am saying this. We're going to be talking Gary O'Neill, who is now 2-5 on to get the job.
Chris, do you reckon?
As I put there, what the fuck?
I know, right? Do you reckon? Do you reckon there's been a typo in the memo that they sent? Like the owners went, right, go and get someone who was like O'Neill, and they forgot to put Martin at the front.
Yeah,
an old cheap rubber's gone out and got Gary O'Neill for him to have a look at.
I tell you what, I'd sooner have John Rudkin as fucking manager instead of Wayne. Instead of Wayne. Sorry, Wayne. Just reading you. Instead of Gary O'Neill, I'd sooner have John Rudkin in bloody charge. You know?
All is forgiven, Rude. Yeah, I said that about Russell Martin, and it works. So if I say it now, hopefully we won't get Gary O'Neill in.
Oh God, please. Anybody know the price of Nottingham Forest shirts?
I know. And you know what, Chris? If it carries on any longer, I'm going to do what that bloke that Man U fan did. Give it to King. It's end of season. You know what I mean?
Well, then we would have a bus driver. All I'll say is, I said at the start when all this thing going, whoever gets it, we should get behind them. No, I am not getting behind Gary O'Neill. The only reason I'd be behind him is to shove him off a fucking cliff.
I was going to say, Chris, no, you have to get behind him. That's how you get the big swing to kick him out the door.
Yes, exactly. That's the only way. Anybody else? Yeah, I'll give him a chance. Gary O'Neill, no. I have actually got a soft spot for Gary O'Neill. It's a swamp at the bottom of the garden. Anyway, and no, thanks to everybody that's been in the chat. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do if you want to join. Message me at LTIDTV or Brad, and we'll add you in to the Prediction League. Fox's Forum is Brad's X brackets formerly Twitter handle, and we'll add you in. The deadline is whatever I said it was earlier. Please do. Give me a laugh.
Friday the 1st of August, guys. That's your deadline. Friday the 1st of August.
I'm glad to see you. I put that. I thought I'll test you, see if you were listening.
Yeah, I passed the test, didn't I?
You did. And then, so see you tonight at 8 o'clock for Chris Wilder, and tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the Ball Fest that is Gary O'Neill. Thanks very much, Brad. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later.
See you later. Take care.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.